guys? It's Amelia. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I got this super natural date night look. I just think this look would be so cute for a very first date, just keeping it super simple. So if you guys want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. So for me personally, when it comes to date night makeup, especially if you're going on a first date, I really like to keep things a little more on the natural side. Like, yes, we're going to add a little vavoom, but honestly keeping it a little more natural I think is just a great way to help your date kind of focus more on you and your personality instead of looking at what color eyeshadow is on your eyes. So a major thing for making your makeup look as natural as possible is by prepping the skin as much as possible. So first I started out with some Clinique Pep-Start 2-in-1 exfoliating cleanser. This is going to help remove any kind of dead skin, any flakiness. It's just going to get rid of all that stuff so you have a more smooth base to start out with. And then I like to go in with some TAHYERS Witch Hazel alcohol-free rose petal toner, and this stuff is so amazing if you have super dry flaky skin or have acne prone skin. This is so amazing. It keeps your skin so incredibly hydrated, tones it, and just really helps prep it for makeup. And then of course I follow that up with a moisturizer. Today I'm using the Clinique Pep-Start HydroBlur moisturizer. I feel like this moisturizer makes your natural skin look a little, just a smidgen better. Okay, so now moving on to makeup, I am going to be applying some SMASHBOX Photo Finish Primerizer. This is a primer and moisturizer in one. It's a super lightweight, almost watery kind of primer. I don't know if you can see it on my skin, but it's very watery, so I like to smooth this all over the skin. Then I'm going to be applying some Makeup Forever Ultra HD Skin Booster. This is something that also really helps hydrate the skin. I just feel like my makeup just applies so much more smoothly, so much more evenly when I use this. It's just so incredible, and again, it helps hydrate the skin. And I'm actually going to be using another primer. You can totally skip this step if you don't have any kind of oily skin going on, but I really like using the Too Faced Prime and Peachy's Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. This is great if you have oily skin. It really helps keep that oil at bay. Another really amazing primer for oily skin would be the SMASHBOX Photo Finish Primer, like the one with the purple packaging. I absolutely love that. However, it breaks me out, which is so incredibly sad, but it is amazing at really controlling the oil. So if you don't have acne prone skin, definitely give that one a go. Okay, so now that we have completely prepped our skin, it is time for foundation. My personal favorite foundation for a super natural look is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Foundation. My shade is R230. This stuff is totally amazing. So I'm going to be taking this, and I really like how it applies with the e.l.f. foundation blurring brush. I feel like you get a really decent coverage, but not to the point where it looks super cakey. We'll start out with one pump on the back of the hand, and then taking our foundation brush, and then putting some dots on our face, and then we are going to slowly do small downward strokes. Okay, and then for some more concealer, I'm going to be using the NARS concealer. This is in the shade Light. I'm putting that on my eyes just so we can cancel out any discoloration, and then drag some down as well. We're also going to sweep that up on top a little bit. Still seeing a bit of discoloration here, so I'm actually going to be taking that NARS concealer and putting that just right over the top. Okay, and then I really like carving out my cheeks a little bit before I even think about putting any eyeshadow on. So I'm going to be dipping into the Cheek Parade by Benefit, and I'm going to be using Hula Light with an e.l.f. Beautifully Precise Air Stipple brush. And I'm just going to be very gently carving out my cheeks. Okay, then I'm going to be dipping into a little bit of blush as well. I'm going to be going into the Pacifica Coconut Blush in the shades Beaming and Tender Heart. I'm going to be mixing these two colors together and then applying that to my cheeks. And a great rule of thumb for applying blush, you take your index finger and your middle finger, put it to the side of your nose, and that is where you start your blush. And then you go upwards on to the temple. Right, now I'm gonna move on to eyeshadow. Today I'm gonna be using the Urban Decay Ultimate Basics palette. For the first shade, I'm gonna be dipping into this yellow shade right here, Pregame. loading up my Glamour Dolls Rose blending brush and just applying this all over the lid so that we have a really nice base to blend all of the other shadows with. Right now I'm going to be taking a Luxie 239 Precision Shader Brush. I'm going to be dipping into the shade Commando right here and using this as my transition shade. Then we're going to be dipping it back into Pregame and blending out the transition shade, starting right under the brow and then blending towards the V and then into the crease. Okay, then I'm going to take the color Nudie right here. We're just going to be applying this onto the lid. Okay, dipping back into Commando again. We're going to be reapplying our transition shade just to make sure we didn't lose any depth that we have created earlier. Okay, next I'm going to be dipping into the color Faith right here. We're going to be focusing that on our outer V and into the crease. Right now I'm going to be taking the Luxie 121 Mini Tapered Brush and I'm going to be dipping into the shade Lockout right here. Got to be a little careful with the shade since it is a bit deeper, and we're just going to focus on the outer V, being very light-handed. Okay, we're also going to be dipping this into the shade Magnet as well, just a very little bit, just to kind of cool down all the warmness, and again focusing that on the outer V. Then I'm taking my Luxie 141 Mini Round Brush, dipping it into Lockout and Magnet, and then going onto my lower lash line and blending it out under there. Right, next I'm going to be taking Luxie 131 Mini Angle Brush and I'm going to be dipping into this color Below right here. It's so pretty. Then I'm going to be adding this to my inner corner and then spreading it outwards. And then also adding this to my brow bone. Okay, and then a really awesome trick I learned is to take the blush that you used and apply it to your eye area as well. So we're just going to be taking that shader brush, dipping it into those, and then very gently starting at the outer corner and blending it to the middle. This just helps pull the entire look together. Then for liner, again, I like to keep it pretty natural looking. So I'm going to be using the NYX Slide On Pencil. Right, and then for brows, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pencil in dark brown. Now I'm just going to be curling my lashes a little bit. Right, then I'm going to be taking some lash primer. This is the Lancome Silks Booster XL. Never know how to pronounce this one. Then I'm going to be taking some Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Major Volume Mascara. Also going to be taking some CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume and more so just using the wand to kind of spread my lashes out a little bit, make them a little bit more wispy because that's just how I like my lashes. But if you like a little clumpier of a lash, then definitely skip this step. Right, then I'm going to be adding some highlight. I like to do a really subtle highlight, so I'm going to just be using the Pixie Glowy Powder in the shade London Luster. I'm also going to be taking my finger a little bit and then dipping into the inner corners. And then a little bit on the brow bone. And last but not least, we're just going to be setting our face with some Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. And then for my lips, I'm just going to keep it super simple. I'm just going to be taking some Givenchy lip balm. It's just a super nice lip balm that makes it look like you actually tried to do something with your lips when really you didn't want to get any kind of color on your cup from dinner or something like that. I'm personally not a big fan of a glowy kind of look, but if you want, you can totally stop right here. But I like to go in with some Neutrogena Shine Control powder to mattify and set everything. And lastly, I'm just gonna set my brows with some e.l.f. Lash and Brow Gel. And here we have the finished look. Alright you guys, so that is the end of my video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps support my channel. And question of the day, what was your very first date night experience like? I really want to know. Let me just say mine was super awkward, and I feel like that is so expected for a first date. Also, if you want to see more of me, more tutorials, more of just fun stuff, please subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button right down below. I hope you guys have a super gorgeous rest of your day, and I hope your date goes really well. Bye!